Folks, welcome back to Toku Thrill. A very special video today where we're striking the current trends for the first time. We were stuck in the past before. Now we're fucking talking about what's new, what the kids are into, what's hip. I am Riley, of course, and I am joined by Nightster.
Hey guys, welcome back to Toku.
Yeah, and we are here to review not one episode of Sentai, but 15, because we kind of dragged our feet on this one. But we decided that was the wrong decision ultimately, so we're doing a little catch-up run here. I have been following number one Sentai GoZyuger, the currently airing Sentai, pretty much since it started airing. I think maybe there were 2 or 3 episodes out. And I wasn't gonna follow it, and then Crow Royalty harassed me about it, so I ended up starting it, and I'm very glad that I did. And then I saw the ending of episode 15, and I was like, I need Nightster to watch this show right now, and I will kill if necessary.
Yeah, he bas we only just got this recording planned because he made me binge the entire thing in like a day.
I did do that. Well, you had two
Well,
days, but
I
then you
had 2
didn't
days,
do it the
but
first day.
'cause at the time I didn't know that it was so like um there was a time crunch on when you really wanted this video to come out.
Yeah, I wanted this video to be out before episode 16 because episode 15 has a very world-altering cliffhanger, so I found it to be the perfect time to like sum up the show so far.
Yeah.
So Nightster, I guess we'll just dive right into it and get some general thoughts, and our discussions will evolve and become more specific from there. How you feeling about number one Sentai GoZyuger so far?
I have so many thoughts, and right off the bat, I want to name one that might be a little bit of a lesser thing to most people, but
Okay.
it's something that I've noticed in past seasons, so I'm really glad about. The main big bad, as in so far at least, the actual main antagonist is a woman. It's been a
That's
man
true.
so many times, and it's almost never been a woman. Like, the last time I can remember, like, a female, like, lead villain was Queen Banshira in Lightspeed Rescue, and that was a Power Ranger thing. I'm not sure if that's even in Go-Go 5 or what her
Yeah,
name is.
I think Diabolico might be the main villain in Go-Go 5. Or not, no, not Diabolico. The fuck is the
Imp
name of the kid? Imperious? No, that's Mystic Force.
Impus?
Um, Impus. Yeah. He gets a new name once he stops being a baby, but I forget what it is.
Let me look it up.
Maybe it is Imperious and they just reused the name.
Lightspeed Rescue Impus. Prince Olympius.
Olympius, okay. Yeah, I think he's the main villain in
Yeah.
Go-Go 5.
So, I was very glad about that.
Mhm.
Very interesting motive. I mean, I get why
Very
it was
sudden motive. We didn't really know
very
what the
sudden,
motive is for 14 episodes.
and then, hey, episode 15 comes around, it's like, "Hey, here's the motive," and it's weird. But,
I'm just
before we get into that, let's talk the actual Rangers themselves.
okay. You see, here's a fun quirk about me. I'm real bad with Japanese names. I think I was doing pretty good with Zenkaiger, but in Gojuger's case, I know 3 of them for sure. I kind of forget the other 2. I
Don't worry,
know
the wiki.
Hoeru. I know Hoeru is the Red Ranger, Goju Wolf. I
Yes.
know that Sumino is the Black Ranger,
Of
Goju
course you know that.
Unicorn, who's also best girl and the best ranger by far in the season. And
True.
then There is Ryuji, the Yellow Ranger, Goju Tyranno, whose guts I hate.
The other two are Riku, who is blue,
Is it
Goju
Riku?
Leon.
Isn't it Rikuo? Now that I think about it,
Riku, something like that.
Rikuo. Yeah, Rikuo.
Oh, it's spelled Rikuo.
Yeah, Rikuo.
And then there's Kinjiro, uh,
Kinjiro.
who's Goju Eagle, the green one.
Yeah, the thing about like, I why am I stammering? The thing about yellow and green is that like the team as a whole kind of doesn't work for me yet. Well, as a unit they work, but like the sum of its parts, there's a couple weak links. That being Goju Eagle and Goju Tyranno, for me personally, where I just hate Ryuji. I think he's annoying. I don't like his character. Not a fan. And then there's Kinjiro, who I don't dislike. But the thing is, like, it's weird that he's secretly an old guy. And for that to not be all I think about, he would have to be really good. And he's not good enough. I still just can't get over the fact that he's secretly an old guy, and that's weird.
I will say that the actor that plays young Kinjiro, because there's two actors for him, one for his
Yeah.
elderly body and one for when he's turned back young.
He gets to be a youthful boy for when he's on his ring quest.
Yeah. The youthful actor is very good at acting like an old man in a young man's body.
Yeah, I can see that. He definitely maintains the personality quite well.
Yeah. Uh,
I was really hoping that they would sell me on Ryuji because I knew there was a two-part Spotlight episode on him near the end of the current episodes that exist, and I guess maybe a little. Um, like little Ryuji seemed like he was pretty cool. I wish he didn't grow up to be such a fuckstick.
I mean, I know who I liked in that episode a bit more than him.
The Red Racer, because me too.
Red Racer, she was awesome, man. She got a coat and like trousers on her suit. She got that nail bat.
The fucking nail bat, fucking Negan from Walking Dead ass bat.
Fucking what's his name from Stranger Things?
Was
Um,
there a guy in Stranger Things who has a nail bat too?
yeah, there is. Forget his name.
I don't
He's
know any of the
Dusty
names. I know some actors and I know some directors. I don't know any of the character names.
Steve.
Mm,
Steve Harrington, portrayed by Joe Keery. He had a nail bat.
okay, yeah. It's a common trope, but it was cool. It was a cool weapon for a Power Ranger. It was a new one for me.
I did like her attack where she would um send the nails flying off and then bat them. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty sick, yeah.
I just love the coat. That's my favorite thing about that.
The code
That whole
the code
thing.
is like a reference, I think, because like I guess Boom Boomger's super mode was just a racing jacket. From what I'm told, it's like they just put on a racing jacket that makes them stronger somehow. So it seems like perhaps they're taking some notes from Boom Boomger here.
It just gave me Marvelous vibes, like how
Yeah,
it looked. Uh, so we haven't talked much about Horu though, and I feel like we should because he's the red.
he is the red. He does get a lot of focus. Our good boy Hoeru. A comparison I made about Hoeru very early on that I feel has maybe gotten less and less true. But I can still like they still kind of work as like a trope comparison to some degree. I was comparing him a lot to Dylan early on.
Oh, because the lone wolf thing.
He's like the lone wolf thing. The fact that he's like this weird nomadic guy who like doesn't seem to want to reveal much about his past, and like he just like he suddenly waltzes his way into being a Power Ranger, and he's like immediately the most like compassionate and heroic man. despite having a rough personality. So it's very Dylan-y. And I would say I still prefer Dylan over Hawaru, but Hawaru is definitely hitting those some of those same notes in a way that I enjoy, and also he has some uniqueness about him. I do enjoy Hawaru a lot.
Yeah, he's a really good character. But if we're talking about comparisons to other characters from different shows, I really feel like we can't miss the similarities between. Um, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name because I know I'll get it wrong. But the blue guy and
Just say
some of the
Riku and then put O at the end of it. It's not hard.
just Rikuo.
Rikuo, yes.
Okay, yeah, and the similarities between Rikuo and there's two Sentai Rangers that he really reminds me of. And one of them I actually messaged you,
Oh,
and that
did
was
you?
yeah, Noel, Lupin X.
Oh,
Rikuo just really screams Noel for me, but more so, and I realized this after the fact. He's very Jeremy from freaking King Oja, the
okay.
spider guy. He's
Interesting.
he's very much Jeremy.
I think the
Like
closest comparison I can make to him for something that I've seen is like Levi from Ninja Steel, I guess, because they're both
yeah,
famous pop idols who are Power Rangers.
yeah. I actually need to check something because uh for instance, okay, no. For a second, I was convinced that Rikuo and Jeremy were played by the same actor.
It has been known to happen, but not in a
Yeah, me.
while, I don't think.
The last one that I can remember happening was uh the actress that plays Luca in Gokaiger also played Raptor in Q Ranger.
Okay. I
That's the
know
only one.
it's there was one in this show, it was a one-off though. It was I think the first Universe Red we see
The
is it
uh
King Oger Red is the first Red we see? Because I
oh
know
yeah,
it's either Boom Boom Red is the guy who turned into King O Red, or it's the opposite.
uh, it was Kuwagata Oja's suit, which is King Oja.
Yeah, so it was that was the Red Boom Boomers actor was the guy who was the Kuwagata Oger or whatever.
Kuwagata Oja. Ah.
That guy was pissed.
Oh
Came out
yeah,
of nowhere. The episode one cliffhanger where he's just like, "Fuck you, I want your ring." It's like what?
like he was Horo's friend, and then he sees that he has a ring, and he doesn't have a wish, and he's like, "You fucking bastard!"
Yeah, save your ring for fucking somebody who has a wish like me, asshole.
Yeah, and we never see him again. Like we know he has a ring, but I don't think he returns after that. Am I wrong? Does he does he
I
not
mean,
come back?
I think they fight him in episode two, but then yeah, he loses his ring and he never comes back, which I assume is going to be the case for a lot of these Universe Reds. If Universe Reds are even still a thing in the fucking new world.
I hope that we see more reds because there's one red that we haven't seen, and I really, really want to see him.
There's one
And I'm
I'm
hope
looking there's one I'm looking forward to. I know some of the other Tommy ones have been like seen ring wise and have already been taken by the GoZyugers, so we just don't get those ones, I guess, unless this resets the ring hunt, which is possible. But what I'm really looking forward to is what they're going to do with the Go Ranger Universe Red, because I know it's going to be something important because this is the 50th anniversary Sentai.
that will be important. And I'm probably just reaching and hoping for something that isn't going to happen. But I hope that the lack of Gokai Red ring that we've seen is because we'll see Gokai Red, but it won't be a ring bearer. It will just be Marvelous.
Or it's just Marvelous has the ring.
Yeah,
Just like, yeah,
exactly.
my powers got destroyed in this Zord war we had, that I found this ring. And it's just now I have them again.
I really hope that's the case because I need my boy. Okay, I need him. Or maybe he just
Yeah,
has another ring.
yeah, maybe he's just a different guy. Uh, but yeah, the Universe Red stuff has been interesting so far, and I hope it does continue prominently as the show makes a major shift in plotline. Uh,
Yeah.
it's exciting stuff.
Shall we
Very
talk about
interesting
the
places they can go.
plotline shift?
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
yeah,
I guess we haven't yet. There's a bunch of other places we can go, but we're kind of bouncing around. So yeah, the reason why I was so insistent that we do this before the next episode comes out, is because this episode 15 ends with the world ending.
the whole world just ends.
It ends with the apocalypse.
The, the episode revolves around the big bad. I can't remember her name actually. Something Vega. Um,
Well, I don't
I'm just
know. Queen Vega, maybe. I thought it was Queen something.
Queen. Is it Queen Vega? It might be Queen Vega. No, it's not
There's
even Vega. It's Queen Ortega June. Something
Oh, take a
in like
June. Yeah, yeah, okay. I
I,
remember
I'm
now.
think I'm thinking like Tega Sword or or Vega Tega, something like that. But it's yeah, she wants to find her husband again so they can get remarried. And there's a whole thing about you have to find three special items, and the villains gather these items, and she finds her groom, and we find out the groom is actually Pegasword, who is the like the Megazord and mentor of the GoJugers. And we didn't find this out until this episode. It's like, oh, here's a bomb drop. Sword and June are like married, so she wants to
I love
marry
how
him.
Tegasword is just like this fucking omnipresent like being this whole time that like very rarely interacts with the Gojujers themselves. And then like as this plot line starts to loom, Tegasword gets desperate and she's like, "Hey guys, we really need to do something about this. I don't want to marry Tega June."
I don't want to marry this bitch. She's crazy.
just
She
having a
took the
casual
kid.
just having a casual conversation with Hoeru after like not being that way the entire time. It's like, I don't want to marry this bitch. No.
This bitch crazy. She took the kids. uh, and there's this weird scene where like they actually get married during a Megazord fight, and there's a Megazord kiss. That was weird.
They get a little they they fly a little too close to the incest son. I don't know if you noticed that. Uh but uh, Garyudo is Hoeru's brother. And like
Oh
I
god,
know he's not
yeah,
being serious, but he does say, "Howeru, let's get married."
yeah, I did notice that at the time. I forgot about it, but like I did notice. At the time, I was sat there thinking, dude, that's your brother. No. But yeah, he wasn't being serious, but Jesus Christ. And I can't wait to talk about that character because fuck me. He's insane.
Yeah, Garyudo has been very interesting so far. I was convinced like for a good bit that this person was going to somehow end up being the sixth ranger, which I guess is still possible technically.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
I think we're gonna find out next time who the sixth ranger is because we've seen the suit. the suit's been revealed. So I think probably next episode or coming up, we're gonna start to see that, and I'm very interested. At first, I was figuring I was almost convinced that Garyudo was just going to be the Sixth Ranger in his current state, but there is a suit for the Sixth Ranger that is not the Garyudo suit, but it's still possible that guy could end up in it because he has this fucking like weird X on his back that I assumed meant he was like being held against his will, and that the Power Rangers might at some point free him, and he becomes a good guy.
You've been corrupted by so much Megazord radio. You're calling them the Power Rangers.
I do that. I've said that on the
Yeah.
channel before, where it's like I say Power Ranger, I say Zord. It's how I look at it. Like I understand it's a different show. It's just like it's what these things are to me.
Yeah. And it's still very possible that he'll join the team in the Garyudo suit if he gets a redemption arc, because we've seen that thing happen with a character who is strikingly similar to him in terms of abilities with Stacy.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Because I pointed out the similarity in a DM to Basco, where Garyudo summoned like the Sentai rings as actual Sentai members. I was like, hey, that's like Basco's keys. And also, it's like Stacy's gears. Now there's one here, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, and he's pretty dark. He's got a connection to one of the good guys. I'm thinking he's gonna be redeemed, and we're gonna have another Stacy situation. But we might not. It might be a different thing because we've had a non-ranger have that ability and not be redeemed. We've had a ranger have that ability and be redeemed, but we haven't had a ranger have that ability and not be redeemed. So this could be that.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, okay. I'm very curious as to who Goju Polar is going to be, and what that's going to mean for the implication of the show. Um, the an interesting thing about Goju Polar, that I would like to make a call on, is astute individuals have noticed that his ring is like triangle shaped, which is different from like the Gojuger's rings and also from the other Sentai rings. So my call, and I hope this is true because it would be fucking sick if it was, is that the triangle rings are going to be for Universe 6, and that's going to be a new thing that starts happening.
I love that idea so much. And makers of Sentai, freaking uh, Toei, if you're listening, if you're gonna do that, and if you're gonna have Abare Killer appear again, this is your third time now. Do not fuck it up. Make the neck piece black.
Oh, they keep fucking up the neck piece.
Don't give him a white neck piece. That's not the suit. I'm very, very passionate about this. They keep messing it up. You're ruining my boy.
Look what they've done. Look how they've massacred my boy.
They massacred my boy.
But no, that would be cool.
It would be
It
cool.
would it would not shock me with how hard they obviously went in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers paint. It would not shock me if they bring in sixth rings just so there can be a fucking Dragon Ranger that is also important.
Did you notice what I noticed about the Ranger ring user?
You said that he was doing the Mighty Morphin morph, which like
Yeah.
yeah, because I guess does he say Tyrannosaurus?
No, but the arm movement, if you go to the times where the Mighty Morphin teams have returned, like, for example, Adam in Space, or Tommy the many times he's returned, and they do that arm sequence thing with the Morpher, that never happens in GoRanger, but that is what they did in GoZyuger.
Wait, are you sure? Because if we're thinking of the same hand movement, it's what they do like every time in Ranger, and it's a reference that Power Rangers makes on occasion.
I don't think that GoRanger does it.
Ranger takes the buckler off, they like turn it in their hand, and they do like a foo foo foo, and they go Dino Buckler. And they've done that. They did that in Mighty Morphin a few times. I think that's what I think they do that in Ranger. In fact, I think Power Rangers is referencing Ranger directly when it does it.
I might be very wrong, and I'm gonna look up the henshins in GoRanger just to check, but it might be a different hand movement. Because I know some people were saying that um they were referencing Mighty Morphin with that guy.
Oh, for
But
sure. They're like memeing on Power Rangers basically because they're like, haha, fuck you. You didn't renew the contract. Look at this. This would be fucking blowing up right now if this was Power Rangers. Get fucked.
I didn't like see that honestly.
You don't think? That was my immediate call. Was like them going so hard in Jew Ranger so quick. It's like, okay, they're mocking Hasbro. Look what you could have had.
I guess. And also, actually, no, I do see it now a bit more thinking back on what they did with him because he was like, "Hey, I've got Aber Ranger and Koryuja rings, and you've got a Dino team up. Here you go." Come to think of it,
Yeah.
Power Rangers would love a Dino team up.
Yeah, this season
Like,
would have been fucking Power Rangers would have been eating good. In fact, how many Universe Reds have not been Power Rangers? Because it seems like a pretty low number. Like Kubagata Oger and who else? Was there a Boon Boom at some point? Who was the mayor? Oh, he was Don Brothers.
yeah, there was definitely a Boom Boom Jar. I remember that. Uh,
But like so many of the significant ones, like Red Racer we talked about, Red Jew Ranger. I remember there was Red Geki Ranger. There was
I've got a list here actually.
okay.
Uh, Kuwagata Oja, Boon Red, Don Momotaro, Ryuso Red, that's a ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, Power Ranger. A Tyranno Red Power Ranger. Aka, Aka Ninja Power Ranger. Gosei Red Power Ranger. Spade Ace, Vol Eagle, Duo Eagle, Gal Red, that's a Power Ranger. Red Racer Power Ranger. That's the only ones on this list, but I'm pretty sure there's more that we've
I think
seen.
that's I mean, no, I think that's everybody so far at least. But okay, so it's
But
kind of an
then,
even split, but a little bit of a priority for ones that have been Power Rangers.
yeah. Huh. Okay, so apparently Gokai Red has appeared in a stage show as a ring user, but so has Abba Red. So um, it could happen still.
It could happen. It certainly could. But there's a lot more to touch on. We haven't really talked about Sumino at all, and that's a crime.
Yeah, I was gonna mention. How have we not? Like she's best girl. She's the best one on the team.
She immediately she showed up and she like immediately intellectually dominated the other Go-Juters, and I was like, yes, please. And she is just unfortunately she's kind of faded into the background focus wise. But we still have it like at the very least like 29 episodes with these people because I think the shortest Sentai ever besides like I think Jack Q was really short, but that was in the 70s. I think since then the shortest one has been like 45 episodes, right?
I think so because it's normally 45 to 50.
Yeah, so we've still got like 30 to 35 episodes to give Sumino a little more. But as she was being introduced, she was done very well, and although she's faded into just another member of the team at this point, she is a good member of the team.
And she's got like a lot of potential to be focused on with her story of her sister and the fact that she's a detective. That could go pretty far.
Yeah, she's a detective looking for. I had almost forgotten about that at this point because of how long it's been since we've mentioned it. Yeah, we had to start figuring out what's going on with her sister.
Yeah. There's so many plot lines. Like you got Sumino and her sister, you've got the whole Romeo and Juliet between uh I
Rikuo
forget
and Bouquet.
Arito and Bouquet, yeah.
Which we haven't talked about the villains really, besides Tegajun and Garito. The other villains, them being Bouquet and Fire Candle. And Fire Candle, I love. I
He
was
is
not
so
I was not sold at first. Like I was like, oh, it's just another like guy who hates the Red Ranger trope. Like, yeah, okay. And then there was that episode where Hoaru quits being a Gojuger and becomes a butler. And Fire Candle also becomes a butler in the same place. And becomes rivals with Hoaru again without knowing who it is. And he like I think he gives like Hoaru a pep talk or something. Like I'm trying to remember what exactly the moment was, but it was just like yeah, he was like talking about what drives him and how he just wants to fight that guy like again. It's just like feel their spirits clash, and that's what he's in it for the love of the game. He's a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy. He's in it for the love of the game, and I respect it. I love Fire Candle. I'm hoping for a like Prince Zuko style redemption arc for Fire Candle, but we'll see if that comes to pass.
justice for Fire Candle.
Justice for Fire Candle.
Uh other villains were I mean we spoke about Gary Yu though
There's the
quite a bit.
split guys,
Oh,
the married couple that's one
yeah,
two-headed monster.
and the wife just keeps eyeing other guys.
Yeah, the wife just wants to fuck Garyudo.
Him and the enchanting villain
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the yes, I feel like that's gonna be a trope from like episodes going forth that she just wants to fuck everyone and
Yeah, I have a feeling. If
he's
she's
just
even
gonna
still to say like there's so many questions that like I don't know if you watch the next time on. I purposely avoid them usually. So I did not watch the next time on that you see after the world ends. Um, so like I don't even know what of the status quo is going to stay the case. Like, are the other villains still going to be around in the same way? What's going to happen to the Gojujers? Like, what is the implication of the world ending and starting anew on the status quo of the show? It's like anything could fucking happen. It's all up in the air now.
and there's no telling what it is. Like we just don't know.
It's such a
It's frustrating.
It's very frustrating. It's all the 2 days. 2 days is all we gotta wait, and episode 16 will be out. We can finally put some of these questions to bed. I saw like 1 second of the next time on, and there was a guy who I didn't make him out if we knew him yet, but the color of the clothes he was wearing made me think he was Goju Polar. So we'll see if that comes to pass. But other than that, I have no fucking clue about anything that's coming next episode.
I've been googling some stuff and I have seen a picture of someone who's been cast as Goju Polar.
Okay, there is a new casting for Goju Polar, and it's not Garyudo. Okay,
And he looks pretty cool.
yeah,
What do you
very,
mean I've been
very,
blocked from
very
using that
interesting.
site? I wanted
What'd
to,
you say?
I wanted to read more about Goju Polar, and my computer just said you've been blocked from this site.
Fuck you. No spoilers.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I like that suit.
It's a pretty damn clean suit. And it's all I think this is the first time we've ever gotten a polar bear Power Ranger, and it's pretty fucking sick.
It is, yeah. Like polar bears are awesome.
They're also like the most murdery creature in the animal kingdom. Like 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 I've heard so many like anecdotes about polar bears. Like there'll be people like, okay, here's how you beat every bear. Black bear, you just gotta like yell at them and assert your authority. Grizzly bear, just gotta play dead. Polar bear, you're fucked. Pray to your god.
I heard one rhyme which the start of it sounds offensive, but it makes sense in the context of it being bears. And the last bit is just fucking funny. Which is if it's black, attack. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white,
You're
there
not
was
all
no
right. Yeah,
actually no, and there was no rhyme for that bit. It was just if it's white, you're fucked.
it's over. That's the end because you've been eaten before you could finish the sentence.
If it's black, attack. If it's brown, lie down. If it's white, you're fucked.
Yeah, black bears are like pussies for some reason. Like I know a podcast I follow called Painkiller Already. One of the hosts talked about how one time he was in the woods and he saw a black bear and he told it that it was bad and he looked sad about it. It's like, no, you're bad, and the black bear like sadly walked away.
Just, just sadly, just with its head down. Okay,
Okay.
like it was grounded.
Go to your room, mister.
Go to your room. Exactly. Oh my god.
That's not gonna work on Goju Polar.
No, it's not. He will whoop your ass. At least I hope so. Because he's a black and white ranger, and those always seem to be badasses. So let's hope that continues. Because of course,
If
Aberrator,
Goju Polar is definitely a man, right?
he's a man. Yes.
He's a man. Okay, I remember there were theories one way or the other on that. If it was a woman, I would be theorizing that it was Tegajun, and I'm still not entirely convinced that's not the case, because that would kind of make a weird sense if, like, in this brave new world, in her vision, she's a superhero. So I could still see them going that way, in which case it would be a brave pro transgender stance. But I could see them doing that.
Being fair, it's a very good time to do a pro trans move because it is June.
True, it's Pride Month.
It's
Gotta get
Pride
it in there.
and her name is June.
Ha! Exactly.
Her name is Tega June. Holy shit, we've cracked the code.
Goju Polar is June. Take the bets down now. Trans June. Goju Polar.
I am all for this. I want this to be the case.
But either way, is there anything else we really need to touch on? I like the dynamic of the group so far. It took a
Oh yeah.
while to grow on me, like cuz I'm kind of used to the friendship barrier being broken right away. Like I had the most conflicting feelings in the world about that scene where they're like trying to convince Hoeru to rejoin the team. And they're like, you can't leave because you owe us all something. And like the obvious implication of what they're saying is that they're friends, but they won't admit that. And that kind of frustrated me at the time. And I still don't know if they've really said that they're friends.
I did enjoy like one part of that scene that I did find a bit wholesome was when Kinjiro said, "We haven't partied enough." I was like, that felt a bit friendship like.
Yeah, that's friendship. Kinjiro's in. Kinjiro and Hoaru, they're friends. The rest of them are up in the air.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't want to be friends with that yellow prick either,
Yeah, nobody wants to be fucking friends with Ryuji.
but who wouldn't want to be friends with best girl?
Yeah,
Huh?
Sumino deserves all the friends. I think they're just too intimidated by her to be her friend.
Yeah.
She's gonna read their mind.
Okay, that leads me to a plot hole. Actually,
Yeah.
did you notice what I noticed? She
Uh,
said specifically when talking about her powers for the first time that her ring power to read minds doesn't work on people who have rings.
really? They
And
say that?
uh, that's what she says, yeah. And when she takes the ring from the married couple in one body, um, she says that she read their mind.
Also,
And they
doesn't
have
she read like the GoZyuger's minds when she's first introduced?
she reads the other guy's mind.
Oh,
Wait, no, and there were two guys that she was on a date with, and she read their minds.
because they knew the GoZyuger. Okay,
Yeah,
they knew Rikuo at the very least. They weren't they the losers who were trying to fight Rikuo?
yeah,
Yeah,
and they had rings, but by then they'd lost them,
Rikuo
I
took
think.
them.
Yeah,
Which an aspect we haven't really addressed is that okay, so the premise we talked about this like at first when I was first trying to convince you to watch this show. Where the premise is so take a sword gives out these Sentai rings. They're all Red Rangers except for the other four Gojuders who aren't red for some reason yet to be determined. Um, and the idea is everybody who gets a ring, your goal is to fight all the other people with rings and get all their rings, and whoever wins gets a wish. So it's kind of like strongest battle the season because it's a bunch
yeah,
of Power Rangers trying to fight each other for a wish.
and I do love Strongest Battle.
So it's definitely an interesting poll.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm curious to see how that goes. Again, who even knows that that's the premise anymore? Like maybe that's done.
Yeah, it might be a situation with Geats where it starts off as this Grand Prix, and then it delves into a whole other storyline about like a like banding together to beat the overarching threat. Anything can happen, and we have no idea where it's going to go from here because of the cliffhanger.
I'm sorry, what did you say? My mother's talking to me through the door. She just got home.
Uh, uh, um,
Shit.
if you don't know, anything can happen. Oh yeah, I got it. I was saying it could also be a situation like a Kamen Rider Geats, where it starts off as this Grand Prix, but then uh, evolves into a storyline of banding together to stop the overarching threat. Like it could go anywhere, and we just don't know because, again, the cliffhanger. We have no idea what's going to happen. It's fucked.
Yeah, it's the most up in the air it possibly could be, which is why I wanted to strike the iron now, because it's like fucking anything can happen. Like usually most cliffhangers you're presented with in this type of show, there's probably you could probably be like, okay, there's like three results that this could potentially have. But no, the world is over and is now a new world. Fucking anything goes.
Yeah, like a lot of cliffhangers are like,
They
oh,
might recast the whole team. We don't fucking know. We could have new Power Rangers by the end of this.
we don't. and I need to take a break because IRL stuff.
Okay.
But we'll be back right now. Okay, I return.
Uh-oh. You returned a bit import. Hopefully Discord doesn't fuck up. I was using my time wisely.
Import?
Yeah, of the audio for the other podcast that I have to edit by the end of tonight, along with this one,
I see.
which I see my connection fluctuating, but you have not yet reported me cutting out, so we might be okay.
Are you not cutting out? No.
Okay. You see, we went through the trouble of getting through this whole break, but I'm trying to think of what else there is to talk about.
The
I think we've
only
we've covered a lot of
character.
ground here.
Oh, we have covered a lot of ground. The only character that I can remember that we haven't spoken much about um, is weirdly enough the Gal Red ring holder.
Oh yeah, the sickest universe red yet. How have we not talked about him?
Like he uses instruments to control, assumingly, assumedly, real animals, but also
The
like
GoJugers.
Gojujers and probably other animal-based Sentai ring holders.
He was awesome. He was a badass. His arc was emotional. And he gives it up to the end in the end to Rikuo, who was the one who gave him the strength to do what he needed to do. It was a beautiful story.
A missed opportunity in my eyes, though,
In
because
what way?
um, I can't remember if it was Rikuo or um, Hoeru who turned into Duo Eagle, but one of them did, and Kenjiro was like, "Hey, twin eagles! You had two eagles, and you were controlling them both, but there wasn't a fight scene between the two eagles. What?
Yeah,
How did
I guess that's a missed opportunity. Yeah,
how did we not get an eagle fight scene?
maybe someday.
Maybe.
Maybe now the rings are redistributed, and there's going to be a new Duo Eagle that Kinjiro gets to fight. I'm sure if the rings are redistributed, I'm sure the Manifest Destiny will make it so the Gojujers find their way back to their rings. I was memeing about the recast. I'm sure that's not happening, but I am
Yeah,
curious as to what the context will be as what those characters are doing in this new world order and how they become the Gojujers again.
I have a guess as to what's gonna happen.
Okay,
Like,
lay it on me.
I'm not super confident, but it's a small theory. I think that um, I forget his name, but the Megazord mentor guy, he's going to have protected the Gojujers in some kind of bubble, so that when the world resets, they stay the same.
Mmm. Okay.
Like he uses up a lot of his power to make a protection bubble, and
I see. I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
yeah, it's like right, and now you have to grab all the rings you can and stop my wife before she kills everyone.
Yeah.
Like set
You
the
all have a
world.
new wish. It's I wish you, June, don't fuck the world up.
I wish the world back the way it was. But that's just my theory.
But will they
It could,
even want the world to be back where it was? Because we're only 15 episodes in. They're gonna spend a lot of time in the new world, assumedly, unless this gets resolved pretty quick.
true, true.
I could see, ooh, what if they do an angle where it's like the new world, they do reset, and in the new world, the Gojujers are better off, but the world itself is not, and they have to overcome it and restore the world back to normal. Like maybe Sumino's sister's not missing anymore. Maybe Hoeru has like a good job. Maybe Ryuji
Ah,
isn't a dickhead. Um, That's impossible. No, the Tekijun's a omnipotent Megazord, not a miracle worker. Uh, but I could see that being an angle. That could be interesting.
yeah, I'm I'm so excited for this.
I think we have to. I think we have to come back here once a week now. I think we've created that obligation for ourselves.
Yeah, we've we have the Megazord radio on Wednesday, and now we have whichever weekday we're doing this
I
on
mean,
Tokyo.
we. I feel like we talk for like 8 hours every Wednesday. We could just double record, just go right from one to the next.
True. And still have plenty of time to just talk after
Yeah.
that.
So I guess that's what we'll do. But for now, I think we've already established what our favorite characters are. I think we both said Sumino, unless you have a different answer.
I haven't said it, but yes, it is.
Okay. Very excited for Sumino. I just hope she gets more. I'm told Sentai is pretty damn good at that. Like in Power Rangers you'll have a character who's awesome and you'll be like I really hope they get more and sometimes they will not. But I'm told Sentai is a little bit better about that.
Yes, Sentai is very good. Like Luca is a very good example. Like goddamn, she was amazing when we first met her, and she got so much, and I'm very happy about that. She's my favorite. Um, well, probably my second favorite Gokaiger, and my first favorite is
I think she's my favorite, but I haven't seen much of the show yet, so maybe one of the other ones would win my heart.
probably Marvelous because he's
He is
the
pretty
guy.
cool. He's pretty cool.
Like I obsess over him as much as, if not more than, I obsess over Trent. And you know how much I love Trent.
Yeah, those two characters are very very big for you.
Yeah.
Did you have a
Which
particular favorite episode out of these 15 that you can pick out?
I'm gonna give it to the one with um the red racer because I just love the coat and the nail bat and the pants. If you, and what was weird is how she was being all like, yeah, safety and all that, but acting like a punk about it. She was very punky,
Yeah, I'm kind
but
of stuck between Sumino's first episode and the and Universe Gal Red's last episode. Those are
yeah,
like the top two in my mind for me.
good.
I think I'll give it to Gal Red, just because I hope there will be new and better Sumino episodes that will become my favorite in the future. But for now, that Gal Red shit was really good.
It was like the whole thing where his partner was saying "I hate you," but turns out she was saying it to the monster and not to him when we thought it was the monster. And then the reveal that she was singing the song the entire time, and the emotional scene where they're just there inside. Oh man, Sentai gets me emotional, man. It really does.
Yeah, they do hit you. They do hit you with those feels every once in a while.
Like I was not expecting feels of this season. I thought it was going to be fun, and it is fun. But
It was yeah, it was very much like it was almost like the like early Kaku Ranger esque, which I have not yet gotten past this part of Kaku Ranger either. Well, I guess I have in GoZyuger now because the world fucking ended at the end of the last episode. But like they didn't really figure out what the real plot was. It was just like, okay, here's the GoZyugers, here's the Universe Reds. There's a monster of the week. There's a Universe Red of the week. Have fun. and we didn't really know what it was building towards up until episode 15 when it all gets flooded on you at once.
Yeah.
Also, one thing we have not mentioned that we probably should have mentioned earlier, theme song banger, certified banger, never skipped.
Okay, that there's actually a reason that I didn't mention it.
Oh,
Don't hate me.
you don't like it?
It's not that I don't like it, but in order to watch them all quickly, like all the episodes quickly, so that I could be done in time for we intended it to we were intended to record this like last night for us, and I was trying to get through them quickly so that when I was done we could record. Didn't happen, but oh well. I
Yeah,
didn't
you got done
listen,
late anyway, and so I was expecting you weren't gonna get done, and I was napping when you didn't get done. So,
and I didn't listen to the theme song once. I don't know what it is.
oh my god.
I'm going to, okay? I'm going to.
Well, actually, why don't we go ahead and do another brief pause? We'll both mute. You go watch the theme song and then report back. Go watch the.
Okie
You don't have to listen to the whole theme song because I think there's like a 3 minute version or whatever. But find like the opening with the credits and stuff.
dokie. Holy shit. That
Yeah,
was good.
dude,
That
it's
was
so
good.
good.
Yes. I like that. And while we're talking
Just
about the
so high
music,
energy. I love it.
the the end song as well, it's not as high energy, but that's also pretty good.
I never
Like
listen to the end song because it's always put over the next time on that I don't want to watch because I don't want the spoilers.
it starts at the end of the episode though, the whole the ding ding my ring
Oh, that
ring
yeah,
ring.
yeah, that part. Ding ding da ding ding da, ding. Yeah, that part.
That is pretty nice too.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, I think we've covered all the bases.
So I assume we're gonna do our regular wrap up questions going forward.
Yeah.
And unless we want to go back and rank them retroactively, I assume we're just gonna rate them out of 10 going forward. So I guess because we don't want to go back and go episode by episode because that'd be annoying. But I guess overall, so far, how would you rate the show out of 10? The first 15 episodes grouped into one mega review.
10.
10? Okay, that's fair. I think I agree with that. It's like a because you see, Hurricaneger is a 10, and this has not quite reached Hurricaneger for
Okay.
me
If
yet.
we if we're comparing it to other seasons, because GoKaiger is a 10. So
Like, would you consider it in the same league? Like, it doesn't have to be the same, but it's in like the
it,
same league.
it's not in GoKaiger's league.
Okay, so I
It,
mean, I'd probably give it like a 9 because they're better. There are better Sentais, and it's a damn fucking good Sentai, and it has the potential. It has the potential to surpass Hurricaneger if it really works hard at it. Like the seeds are planted. It could happen, but right now it is yet to exceed that for me.
I'm going to leave a little bit of a wiggle room, and it might change in the future because we're very early on. But I'm gonna give it a realistic 8.5.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, okay, that's GoZyuger so far. We'll
Yep.
see you next week when we find out what the implications are of the world's literally fucking ending. Nightster, where can our listeners find you?
Where you can find me on my to on my Toku on my
Yeah,
solo channel,
Toku Channel's
Nightster,
this one. We're already here.
or you can continue to listen to me, Riley, and the others here on this channel for Toku stuff. And I'm also a member, well, member, co-host of Megazord Radio, which you can find hosted by Riley on YouTube.
Yes, Megazord Radio. It is a we do If you're missing us over here, now there's weekly content here too. So congratulations. But also, we do a podcast every week. We talk about 2 episodes of Power Rangers. We recap them in detail, and we rank them against each other and rank the shows and the Rangers and stuff. And we have a good time, and it's been good. So check it out. It's gonna be a long project. We got a lot of Power Rangers to watch, as we do Super Sentai. So we'll see you next week for GoZyuger episode 16. I was about to say the Megazord Radio outro, but that's not how this works. It's just a regular outro. So goodbye.
And where can our listeners find you? Because we didn't do
Oh,
that.
oops. linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY Cinematic Universe. I do a bunch of podcasts for more general like comedy stuff, as well as our nerd shit. A lot of stuff. Just take a look at it if you ever get a sec. But now we're done. So goodbye.
Yep. Should we do the Gojuja call since we're doing?
Is it just engage would be the call?
I think
That's all
like
they say, right? The morpher says clap your hands. I think they just say engage.
yeah, yeah. They say engage, and then the morpher says clap your hands, and then the the
You know,
morph theme.
it's a good morph theme for sure. We didn't mention that either, but yeah.
Yeah,
I just like the it's like it's too long. It's like stupid in world, but I do like the morphing sequence. I like
I
the
love
little
this.
song that goes with it. I like the clapping. They've been slacking on it lately. They were really like consistent with them doing that nearly every time until like the last 3 episodes.
I love the concept of them like ripping holes in space with the morpher. Like they make the circle with their blade, and it creates the morphing hole. And
Can they all
Red's
do
weapon
that?
does
I
that,
thought it was just Hoeru and Garyudo that could do that.
in the morphing sequence, and they all
Oh,
use,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But Hoeru and Garyudo can just like do it in combat and hop in space portals.
which I love. It that is so cool. Yeah,
But yeah, I don't think we need to do the call. That's fine. This is a regular review. We weren't doing the Zenkaiger call. This is the same thing.
yeah. This isn't Megazord Radio. We're
Yeah.
just doing
So until next time, guys. Goodbye.
my